Hello everyone, welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Wednesday, March 17th. We're going to be talking some NBA DFS picks on both DraftKings and FanDuel for today. But before we get started, I'm going to take a quick look back at yesterday's picks and see how they turned out. So on the DraftKings side, we had Tomas Satoransky, $3,600. You're looking for about 18 out of him. He got to 31.5, so he was a big hit there. Reggie Bullock, $3,800. You're looking for 19 out of him. He got to 22.75, so he was also a hit. LeBron James was $10,500. Looking for about 53 out of him. He got to 64.5, so he was a hit. Povashevsky was the one miss on the DraftKings side. 4,400. You were looking for 22 out of him. He ended up getting 15, so he was a miss. But hopefully some of these other guys kind of made up for it. And then last but not least, $3,500 Moses Brown got 51 points on DraftKings. So massive day for him. 20 points, I believe 16 rebounds as well. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Ricky Rubio, $5,200, looking for 26 out of him. He got to 47.4, so he was a massive hit. And then Victor Oladipo at shooting guard, $7,700, looking for, about 38, 39 out of him. He got to 41.1, so he was a hit as well. Kenyon Martin Jr., looking for a little bit more out of him than the 20 points that he did get. He still was over 5 times value, so he was a hit as well. The one miss on the FanDuel side is Tony Bradley, $3,500, looking for about 18 out of him. He got to 8.9, so just not a good day for him overall. He was a miss. And then last but not least, Moses Brown once again, $4,200, looking for 21, got 53.2, so he was a hit as well. If you look at both these lineups, they did very, very well yesterday. If you went with this core 5, you probably made some money. But with that being said, we'll get switched over to the injuries for today. So the first game we got is the Raptors and the Pistons. The Raptors, keep an eye out on them. All these guys that have been out with the COVID protocol now could be coming back besides OG Anunoby. So we'll get some news on that later on the day. At least it's the first game, so we'll have a good heads up before the slates lock. On the Pistons side, Wayne Ellington looks like he's going to be out once again. Rodney McGruder, Dennis Smith Jr., they're both game time decisions. I don't think either one of them end up playing, so maybe we finally see Josh Jackson in the starting lineup again. Or maybe they just keep him coming off the bench and start, I don't even know who at shooting guard at this point. We'll move over to the Brooklyn Nets, and it's just Durant and Griffin out once again. Pacers exactly the same as they were last time out. Jeremy Lamb is still a game-time decision. The Bucks are all the way healthy. 76ers the same as we've been seeing the last couple of days. Joel Embiid's still out for a while. Then for the Kings, Marvin Bagley is out in this game. He got injured last time out. Hassan Whiteside is a game-time decision. We'll see if he plays or not. If he doesn't play, Rashawn Holmes, Harrison Barnes, they're looking like really good plays. If Whiteside plays, it probably knocks Holmes down a little bit. Then for the Wizards, Ish Smith's out. Raul Neto is a game-time decision. I do expect him to play once again. Then the Spurs are exactly the same as they were the last time out. We still got DeRozan, Bates Diop, and LaMarcus Aldridge out. Bulls are exactly the same as well. Garrett Temple's still out. Then for the Celtics, Langford's been out all year. No new news there. Tristan Thompson, game-time decision, unlikely to play, so I don't think he plays once again. And then Kemba Walker, this is a back-to-back. He did come out of the game last night. I'm not sure exactly what happened to him, so he's probably going to rest on the back-to-back. So you could see Teague or Pritchard in that starting lineup again. Maybe they run Jaylen Brown at that point guard position and start Javonte Green again like they did the one time, but just kind of keep an eye out for that one. Then for the Cavaliers, I don't think Kevin Love is going to play. Taurean Prince and Della Vadova are both game-time decisions. They both kind of been game-time decisions before and not played, so not too interested in them. I don't think any of those guys are going to play at all. Warriors all the way healthy. What we're looking for in the Rockets, Victor Oladipo's not playing. Pretty much all the guys that have been out for a while are not playing once again. Christian Wood is likely to play. However, they have said he will be on a minutes restriction, so he's not going to be somebody that I'm interested in. Daniel House, if he does play, he'll be on a minutes restriction as well. And then Ben McLemore is still a game-time decision. I don't think he ends up playing in this one. Then the Charlotte Hornets, they're all the way healthy. The Nuggets are exactly the same as last time out. For the Heat, Mo Harkless and Andre Iguodala are both out. So I don't think that changes too much overall. Maybe you see a little bit more Precious Achiuwa in this game behind Bam Adebayo and Kelly Olynyk, but I don't really see too many changes. Obviously, Bam Adebayo was kind of limited yesterday, and his minutes probably be the same way again today. Grizzlies, exactly the same as they've been. And then for the Clippers, Beverly's out once again. Serge Ibaka's a game-time decision. I do not expect him to play at this point in time. I think that does give you a bump up to Zubac and Marcus Morris once again. Then for the Mavericks, James Johnson's out. He's going to be out for at least a couple more days. And then Dwight Powell, game time decision. He did have like a little bit of a stomach bug the other day and didn't end up playing. We'll see if he's back today or not. But overall, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries for today's slate. So we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So at point guard, we had him yesterday. We're just going to go right back to him. It's Tomas Satoransky, $3,800, looking for 19 out of him. Pretty much what he's averaging on the season. Been in that starting lineup, been playing very well. I don't have any concerns playing him once again. Josh Jackson, I know he didn't pan out the last time we played him. His price came down a little bit, $5,100. Looking for about 26 out of him, averaging about 25 on the season. Pretty good matchup for him overall. Like I said, he could be in that starting lineup. If he gets that 30 minutes today, he's definitely in play. Then at small forward, I like Harrison Barnes a lot, and he's a guy that when somebody else has been missing from that starting lineup, he's really stepped his game up. $6,500, you're looking for 33 out of him, averaging 31.5 essentially on the season. We've seen him get 35 or more in some games where, Bagley didn't play or when Rashawn Holmes wasn't playing as well. Then at power forward, I like Larry Nance Jr., and he's $4,700, looking for 23, 24 points out of him, averaging almost 27 on the season. The first two games back, he was kind of on a minutes limit. Last night, I believe he played 38 minutes, so if he's getting them minutes once again, Kevin Love's not going to play tonight. I don't think anybody has any question about that. Maybe Taurean Prince comes back and eats into a little bit of those minutes, but as long as he's getting minutes like that, at this price tag, he's pretty much a must-play, honestly. Then, last but not least, I have Drew Eubanks, and this is kind of a weird play, but I wanted to pay down a little bit here. Goes against the Bulls. Should be a pretty good matchup. Bulls aren't great on defense overall. He's been getting the minutes, played at least 18 minutes the last 3 games out. I know some of those games had a little bit of blowout run as well, but he's still playing that backup center role, and that's going to be an important one against the Bulls today. You're really only looking for 16 points out of him. I think he gets you to probably about 18, 20 pretty easily today. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 guys over on DraftKings for today, you'll have $26,800 left over, just over $8,900 per player. So definitely room to pay up for guys like Giannis, James Harden, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, Russell Westbrook. There is quite a few good pay up options today, unlike yesterday, even though the pay up options that we did have yesterday did end up paying out. And then with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So typically I don't like to double dip, but this one's just too good with Tomas Satoransky at point guard. $3,900, looking for 19, 20 points out of him. Like I said over on DraftKings, he's probably a shoo-in to get 20 points today unless something weird happens. So I have no problem going back to him today. I think his price actually did go down on FanDuel from yesterday to today, oddly enough, even though he's been starting and playing good minutes, been playing well. Then at shooting guard, we're going right back to Karis LeVert. Still a misprice here, $4,400. You're only looking for 22 points out of him. He's more likely to get you 30 than 20, so he's pretty safe play. Expect him to be very, very chalky once again today. Kevin Porter Jr., $6,300 at that small forward position. We're looking for about 31, 32 points out of him. Technically, he's averaging 40 on the season. He's getting big usage. I know they do get Christian Wood back, but Victor Oladipo's out as well, so he's going to be getting a bunch of usage today. Is a pace-up matchup against that Warriors team, so don't be surprised if this is a high-scoring game back and forth. Both these teams are very hit or miss as it comes. Sometimes they'll play really well, and sometimes they'll play really terribly, so definitely be an interesting game there, and I think he's probably one of the guys that benefits the most today. And then I move over to power forward, and I want Marcus Morris, $3,700. You're only looking for 18, 19 points out of him. He's averaging 19.5 on the season, essentially. So being in that starting lineup, getting more minutes, and it's not a bad matchup against Dallas either. So I have no problem playing him today, especially if he's starting once again. Then last but not least, at that center position, I went with Mason Plumlee here, but I think it's a pretty good matchup for him overall. You're looking for about 29 points out of him. He's averaging 30 on the season. I don't have a problem paying Mason Plumlee here. If you're not paying all the way up for Nikola Jokic, I think Mason Plumlee is a solid mid-range option to pay for today. But if you go with these 5 guys over on FanDuel for today, you'll have $35,900 left over, just under $9,000 per player. So definitely a lot of room to pay up, and I think that's important on a day like today when there are so many good pay-up options available. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, March 17th. As always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out. And then as always, I'll be listing the news and starting lineups down in the comments as they come out throughout the day. But with that being said, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. It definitely helps build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports. And that's really one for you, the viewers, helping you guys with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you guys with your fantasy football teams, talking all the different football news this offseason. Like I said yesterday, once free agency is kind of slowed down a little bit, I'm going to be dissecting more of those moves, kind of what they mean for certain teams, and then maybe a little bit of a fantasy aspect as well. And then last but not least, as we move forward into baseball season, we'll be covering some fantasy baseball and some baseball news as well. And then if you are a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, do the daily NBA DFS videos, covering some football news, covering some baseball news for both fantasy football and fantasy baseball as well. But with that being said, that's all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Hopefully you all do very well in NBA DFS tonight. As always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out. And then last but not least, a special little shout out for each and every one of you watching this video. Definitely means a lot to me. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. I really do appreciate it, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.